Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for Broadway World. The National Theatre of Great Britain's acclaimed comedy, One Man, Two Guvnors, has come to Broadway's Music Box Theatre with the show's original star, James Corden, under the direction of Nicholas Heitner. This hilarious comedy has taken the UK by storm and is now doing the same on the Great White Way. And I'm here on opening night to celebrate with the company.
I've got 2 jobs. How did that happen? Oh, you got to concentrate, ain't you? With 2 jobs. I mean, I can do it as long as I don't get confused. But I do get confused easily.
Are you an actor?
Does it show?
It's the way you stand at an angle as if there's an audience over there.
Welcome to Broadway with the show. How do you feel?
Well, it's been a wonderful night, and we're really excited that this kind of humour lands just as well in New York as it does in London. It seems to be universal humour.
Nick, take me back to the beginning of how this play came about for you to direct.
Well, I was looking as director of the theatre, of the National Theatre, for something comic to set against a very grim season. This was a couple of summers ago, and I thought of asking James Corden to play the part of Truffaldino in Goldoni's old Italian play, The Servant of Two Masters, and then I asked Richard Bean to do a makeover of The Servant of Two Masters and set it in Brighton in 1950s or 60s, and so it all came as a project for James, an adaptation of this old Italian play, and the idea was we need something to make our audience laugh because otherwise it's going to be wall-to-wall Hamlet.
Well, let's talk about your genius of a star.
Well, he is a genius. I knew he was a genius in the History Boys, where he had a smaller role. He wasn't even one of the most prominent History Boys. Since then, he's become enormously celebrated in England. He's as a writer and as a performer, and I'd wanted to bring him back to the theatre for a long time. I called him and said, enough of the chat shows and the quizzes already. You've got to come back onto the stage, and I'm thrilled he did.
So what has it been like listening to the New York audience when you're in the house?
Well, the New York audience is much more demonstrative than the London audience, as I'm sure you know. The London audience laughs. This audience laughs even harder.
And just talk about the project in general. I mean, the UK, it's still running in the UK, right? It's still running in the West End?
It is. It's running in the UK now with a new cast, and it's running very well with a new cast. What you're getting here are the 10 original London actors who are all superb. They're just wonderful. Really, really funny actors.
James never gives the same performance twice, does he?
No, a lot of the performance is improvised, and that's the joy of it, and that's the joy of this kind of comedy. There's highly choreographed physical comedy that's kind of got its roots back hundreds, thousands of years, but made new for now, and James just reacting to whatever gets thrown at him, and sometimes literally people throw stuff at him, and absolutely nothing floors him. He can deal with anything. He's hilarious.
You work with another comedy director on this, right? For like all the pratfalls and everything else?
Yeah, the brilliant Cal McChrystal has choreographed all the physical comedy, an absolute genius of physical comedy. And so I have the best of all worlds. I have a wonderful script, a marvelous star who improvises, a great guy who does the physical stuff, and really it's not been hard for me.
Tell me what it's been like working on this and how this all came about for you, Richard.
Well, I mean, Nick Heitner asked me to do a version of the Goldoni, and the first thing I had to do, of course, was read the Goldoni. When I realised that there was a fantastic plot there, and what it needed really was some dialogue writing, and that was my fun really for 3 months, sat in my basement studio writing the dialogue. So that's where it really came from. But I stuck to the Goldoni plot. You might not recognise it. It doesn't look like Italy in the 18th century, but the plot is pretty much the same.
Did you always want to set it? Is it 1963?
It is 1963, yeah. I originally I wanted to set it in the Second World War, in the Blitz, because, of course, we had rationing, and the driver for the first half for the main character is food, he's hungry. And, of course, in the 60s, it's very difficult to believe or understand that someone can't eat for 18 hours. But in the end, Nick persuaded me that if we did the 60s, we could have skiffle, we could have a kind of Beatles band, and we'd have primary colours. We'd have a lot more kind of sexy dresses, sexy clothes, stupid haircuts, and the audience would think, good grief, they've recreated the Beatles with that band, the Craze, who are fantastic, aren't they? Great band, yeah.
Talk about your leading man.
Well, James Corden, he's a phenomenon. I mean, I'll tell you one thing which is not often said about him, actually, but I've never seen an actor work so hard. He's not missed a single performance. He's had nights off that were scheduled when he's been doing television in England, whatever, but he hasn't missed anything from injury or whatever, and he has been injured and gone on with a limp and a cut eye, and one night he couldn't see out of one of his eyes and whatever, but he won't let anybody else get on there. You know what they're like.
This one dead?
Oh, I don't know. He's got one of them pacemakers. I could turn it up a couple of notches. See if they... Oh, my God! Alfie, are you okay? Oh, my God, Alf, try and go... Alfie, try and calm yourself down a bit, Alf. Alfie, come on now. Alf, are you... Alfie!
Tell me what it's been like working on this show and working on the role. Talk about him.
Oh, he just, I mean, in a funny way, he appeared as soon as I read it. I think I had this inner geriatric, old, broken down, Crimean War veteran just waiting to get out. And, but it's been very hard physically, but so much fun. And, to work at the National Theatre was a dream enough. But to come here is just a fantasy. It's like theatrical nirvana. We can't top this. So it's just a scream. And just to come on and do my little scene and know that the audience are really just howling, and it's a joy. It's why we do it. It's great.
You call it this little scene, you stop the show cold.
Oh wow. Well, I don't know about that, but I couldn't comment on that. But it's no, you can't beat an old man falling down the stairs. I mean, can you? I mean, it's great. But it's nice to. I think also a lot in theatre today. There's a lot of. There's not many opportunities to see something very clearly drawn, something you remember from Charlie Chaplin films or the Marx Brothers films, something very almost vaudevillian, the doddery old waiter. It's an old joke, but if it's written well in the way that it is and directed well in the way that it was, it can still make us laugh because it's people hitting their heads in doors and dropping soup. It's funny. It's funny stuff,
The UK audiences, of course, have fallen in love with the show and still are. Yes. Were you surprised at the New York audience's reaction to the show?
I think we were all, I don't know if I would say surprised, we were all very tentative because we were riding such a wave in the UK, and this is, the climax of our experience with the show, so we really, really wanted to be liked, as we all do. And we were worried, is it too English, is it too exotic? Will it fit with the American sense of humor, with the Broadway audiences? And cross fingers, there's bigger laughs we're getting here with the Americans. And I think also what's so lovely about the audiences here, they're so enthusiastic. So I think once they've decided they like the show, they really get behind it and they help us so much, So I wouldn't say surprised because deep down I know it's a funny show for universally. But it's a great privilege we certainly didn't take it for granted, put it that way.
I don't want to know anything about your life. I wish you was dead. I can't bear to see her suffer any longer. I am dead. Are you? No. Really? What's it like? Roscoe, my brother, is dead. You're Roscoe's brother? Sister.
Oh my God, it's like stuff dreams are made of. I'm so excited. I was so nervous. We were all feeling a little bit sick and a little bit weird, and then you've got family in, and it always makes you nervous. It's the most incredible experience. So I feel very lucky and very humble, and yeah.
What about the role?
Well, I play a cross-dressing lady. I essentially am playing a man for most of the play, which is really fun, and I really enjoy. And I think they get it. They enjoy it a little bit more in New York than they do in London. Like it's kind of I think the sort of like the whole tradition. It's kind of a Shakespearean kind of tradition. I think they're really enjoying it, and therefore I'm enjoying it even more.
And working with your director Nicholas Heitner.
Yes. He's a legend. He runs the most amazing theatre in London that to work at is such a privilege. There's so much going on, there's so many friends around, there's so many talented people, and it's a massive melting pot of lots of different things, and it's so exciting. And to have him at the helm of this project, which has just sort of grown and grown and grown. I don't think any of us really knew how it would be received while we were working on it, and it's just such a thrill that people have such a lovely time at the theatre with our show, and that's, I mean, the best thing that could ever happen.
What's been the best part of the journey for you with working on this show?
Coming here, without a doubt. Coming to Broadway. In fact, the week before I started rehearsals for this job last year, I was visiting one of my best friends who was in Arcadia on Broadway, and my boyfriend and I went, wouldn't it be lovely if one of us got the chance to work and live here? It took me a year, but we're here. It's amazing.
My rival in love, Roscoe Crabbe, arrived from London today and is staying here.
Bizarre! Roscoe Crabbe is the name of the chap I killed accidentally last Saturday evening, stabbing him 3 times in the chest with a knife I'd bought earlier.
My card. If you see him, tell him his life will only be spared if he abandons his wedding plans.
I thought you said your name was Alan. This card says Orlando Dangle.
Equity already had an Orlando Dangle.
So you chose Alan.
It's 1963. There's a bloody revolution in the theatre, and angry young men are writing plays about Allens.
Has it been magic? Is it all surreal for you?
Well, yeah, it's surreal because we've been doing the show for so long, and we've taken it to so many different places. To now, to look back and think where we started, and think this is opening night on Broadway, and we're all, you know, it's an amazing journey.
Talk about the role and what you love about the play.
The role that I play is a plonker, which I don't know whether you have as a word in America, but he's a plonker. So he's a bit of an idiot, and he wants to be an actor, and that's his thing. And the play itself is a really silly farce, very high comedy, high energy with some songs, and just a good old night out.
Incredible ensemble. Talk about your fellow actors.
My fellow actors are all, to a man, wonderful, and they smell lovely, and they scrub up really well. Their personal hygiene is impeccable.
It's a great company to work with, isn't it?
Yeah, it's brilliant. Yeah, it's lovely. It's a lovely group of funny, nice people.
A friend of mine likes you.
What's his name?
Paddy.
What's he look like?
Oh, he could be a movie star.
Godzilla?
Nah, he's a good-looking lad. He's big-boned.
And how did he get big bones?
Oh, the usual, nature, nurture.
Partly genetic, partly pies.
I am beyond excited. It's just amazing. It's a dream come true. I think I'll wake up tomorrow and actually I'll be back home eating pies, and none of this actually happened.
Talk about the role that you play and what you love about the play.
She's a highly sexed feminist, so that sort of says it all. She's ballsy. She's got the biggest balls of any man on stage. She's highly intelligent, and yet she's sensual and she's still womanly. So for me, it's a complete gift. I don't know of another part that's like that. And she's got a very dry sense of humour. So yeah, it's wonderful.
Working with this great company of actors and your director, Nicholas Heitner.
Oh, my goodness. Well, it doesn't get better than Nick. I mean, he is amazing, and this company, they feel like my family now, so it's amazing, yeah.
And just what it's like being in New York.
I keep crying all the time. It's so exciting. I wandered around Times Square on the first day, just with tears streaming down my face. It's just so magical. I'm wondering if this wears off or whether that's just the way it is. And even when you're tired, it carries you. The city carries you. I love it.
Do you have a favorite moment in the show, or does it change?
I think it changes when I flip to the floor and I freak out. Yeah, I think that's probably my favourite bit, just because it's so ridiculous.
A couple of days ago. Careful what I say here. I bought it off Paddy, who was given it by his previous employer in lieu of payment before he died.
Before he did what?
Before he did die.
He did die, did he?
He did.
Well, what did he die of?
He was diagnosed with diarrhea, but he died of diabetes.
He died of diabetes, did he?
He did, didn't he?
Were you there?
When?
When he was diagnosed with diarrhea but died of diabetes.
No, I was in Didcot. And he was diagnosed with diarrhea but died of diabetes in Dagenham.
When did he die?
Of diarrhea or diabetes?
He didn't die of diarrhea, he died of diabetes.
He did he? Where?
In Dagenham, damn it, that's what you said.
Oh, yeah, Paddy said it was a couple of days ago.
Opening night, how does it feel?
I mean, it's awesome. I mean, we just opened on Broadway. How about that? That's really amazing, isn't it?
It's surreal, isn't it?
It's just the most wonderful thing. I mean, you know, it was amazing to do this show in London. We never knew. It's such an out there, crazy show, particularly for the National Theatre of Great Britain. We didn't know how it would go down. And in London, I remember our first preview, we were amazed with this reaction, and then for it to keep going and going and going, and then for us to come here and to keep getting the same. It's the most wonderful thing in the world.
Talk about the role and what you love about the play.
Oh God, well, I mean, the play is just a brilliantly written piece of comedy. I mean, it's high class, low comedy. It's like, it's properly, beautifully crafted silliness. And it's just wonderful to play. The characters are all lovable and hilarious and insane. And it's just a riot. It's as much fun to be in as it is to watch. And judging by the reaction tonight, I hope it's a lot of fun to watch.
Talk about working with Nick Heitner, your director.
Well, I mean, Nick Heiner's the man's a genius. I mean, you don't get a hit rate like that. You know, what he's done with the National Theatre is incredible alone. But you know, he directed The Madness of King George or George III. He's directed The History Boys. You know, he's one of the guys responsible for War Horse, to name just a few of the things that he's done. You know, so the guy is an incredible director, an incredible man, and it's to work with him is one of those. As an actor, I think, you know, as an actor, I think you have a lot to prove to yourself. You know, not necessarily anybody else, but it's a brave life choice. And I think when you start working with people like Nicholas Heitner, you can tick a box inside yourself which says, you know, I'm doing the right job. You know, I'm here, I'm working with the best people in the best plays, in the best theatre in the world, and now here we are on Broadway sharing that with you guys. It's just amazing.
It's a gorgeous ensemble. Talk about working with these great actors.
Oh, well, really, I just like to think it's all about me.
Well, of course it is.
It's amazing. I mean, you know, James Corden is a comedic genius, frankly, full stop. I've worked with that guy now for over a year. I knew him beforehand. The guy, watching his skill, you know, it's skill and the craft and the joy, the bubble that he has is just incredible. And the rest of the cast, they're all amazing. I mean, just a wonderful family. I mean, it sounds a bit of a cliche, doesn't it? And they're all wonderful. But you know what? Sod it. They're a wonderful family.
But I do get confused easily. But I don't get confused that easily. Yes, I do. I'm my own worst enemy. Stop being negative. I'm not being negative. I'm being realistic. I'll screw it up. I always do. Who screws it up? You. You're the role model for village idiots everywhere. Me? You're nothing without me. You're the cock up. Don't you call me a cock up, you cock up.
Take me back to the beginning of how the show came about for you to do.
Well, Nick Heitner, the director, called me and said, do you want to do a play next year at the National Theatre? I said, are you directing it? He said, I'll direct it if you're in it. I said, then I'll do it. And that was it. I didn't even know what it was at that point. But, you know, I think all 8 of us who are involved with the History Boys have a kind of romantic attachment to the National Theatre and an emotional pull to Nick as a director. And so that's how it came together. And he said, I'm going to get Richard Bean to write a new adaptation of this Goldoni farce. And 6 months later, a script arrived. And a month after that, we started rehearsing. And it was supposed to be a 4-month commitment, and here we are on show 280, and you know, to be here in New York is such a joy. It's the best place in the world to perform a play. I really believe that. Like, you know, I feel like ever since I finished the History Boys, I've had some great things happen to me. But it's all felt like a quest just to try and come back and work here again, you know? So I'm thrilled. I've never felt happier to be here.
Perfect ensemble. Talk about your fellow cast members and what it's like working with them.
Oh, well, it's the best group of actors. I mean, that's what the National Theatre does. It you know, it has this wonderful casting team there who pull together the best actors, you know, you could ever wish to be on a stage with, and every person is note perfect, from Danny to Ollie to Jemima to Susie. It just, you know, you always feel like if you drop the ball one night, there's someone brilliant who'll pick it up and give it back to you in the best. You know what I mean? It's a lovely group of people, and it's not lost on us how lucky we are, you know, to be doing this.
Your physical comedy is amazing. Talk about some of the mishaps that have happened to you during the run.
Well, it hurts, you know, is the truth. It hurts. Like, you can't kind of throw yourself backwards over a chair 8 times a week and not knock yourself. Like, I have a slight tear in my cartilage at the minute, and I scratch my eyeball in rehearsals. I have an injury on my hip. But, you know, we won't be doing this forever, and we've got 5 months, and then hopefully I'll be able to get it all sorted out. But, yeah.
You know, the UK audiences fell in love with this show.
Yeah.
America's falling in love with this New York audience. What has the New York audience's reaction been like for you?
Oh man, it's been, if anything, it's been bigger and better than it was at home, you know. We've done 10 shows, we've had 10 standing ovations, and mostly people feel like they've had a really good time, and that's kind of all the show is. It's a great time at the theatre. It's fun, it has no pretense to do anything other than to try and make you laugh as much as you can, and if people do that, then we're happy, you know.
I wish you was dead. I